Did you see the HipHopDX finally rated Magic Nas's
Yeah,
Magic album?
yeah. We out here applying pressure. That's why.
Yeah, they gave it a 4.3 out of 5. And you know what? I read the article. They said favorable things. They
Oh, it's a
actually
good
left
review.
Illmatic out of it all the way until the end.
That's how I know we applying pressure.
Yeah, man. I'll just read a couple of sentences from it, man, because they got really lengthy with it. But they said the King's Disease series for longtime Nas fans has been nothing short of remarkable. After converging with Hit Boy, Nas managed to shake his long-held title as the worst beat selector, while Duo emerged as one of the better producers slash artist combinations in contemporary hip hop. Now I didn't like that. I didn't like that. That
It was a good review.
Nas
They
managed to
got
shake
a
his
five.
long held title as worst beat selector, while the duo emerges as one of the better producer slash artist combinations in contemporary hip hop. That was a slight jab because honestly, no one has ever crowned Nas the worst beat selector in hip hop. No one has done that except for Vlad. You might have a Rosenberg or something out there who has said something along those lines, but come on,
People who don't know what they're talking about. Got it. Next.
man. Even in a favorable rating, you get this nonsense. Let me go back to it, man.
No, I'm just. You know what I'm saying? Like, how about this? I guess this is about as favorable as it's
This is
gonna
about
get.
as favorable. And again, like I told you earlier on the phone, man, we can't get comfortable because they're gonna try a little slight stuff. Even with the 4.3 out of 5, they're still gonna throw little jabs here and there. That's what they do.
Mike, I'm pulling up on Pitchfork's Twitter tonight. I'm about to bury them.
I
They got
mean,
a
you late. The fans are burying them, man. The
no, 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 no,
fans
no, no,
did
no, no, no,
this.
no, no. It's called finishing moves, Mike. They thought they about to sit up here, Mike. They think that they about to jump up in here on our podcast and troll us. Oh no, no, no. I hope you're in here tonight. I hope you're ready. Get your social media person.
Mike 100 says Rap Roundtable is some Big J fans. Y'all better be ready. We will be ready. We armed and ready. All right, let me get back to
We got them.
this. after
Ain't
the
nothing but
arrival of
this.
after the arrival of KD2 last August, Nas and Hit Boy surprised fans with the follow-up album just in time for Christmas Day, Magic. The tightly sequenced 9-song release has met to tide fans over for the is meant to tide fans over into King's Disease 3, but easily fares as one of the more potent in the 48-year-old MC's catalog. Here's Illmatic mentioned, taking a page from his iconic debut, Illmatic. The LP is light on both filler and guests, and the sole features are ASAP Rocky, DJ Premier, Wave Gods, allowing Nas to maintain the spotlight.
He never has a lot of features. What are we talking
No, he
about?
doesn't. Yeah.
He's never had, Mike, he hasn't released one feature heavy album to this day. You got 15 projects. Not one of them probably
That's
has
interesting. That is interesting because
not one heavy feature album. That's why he's Mike. That's why it's that goat shit that I'm talking about. It's like, nah, you might on the heaviest he's gonna go is probably 4 to 5 guest appearances. And if you're getting that, you're probably getting a 15 track album. So you're probably still getting him solo for about 10, 11 tracks.
Shamario Patterson says what needs to happen is they need to pick Nas' worst beats and his beats and total it up. That's interesting because all that's subjective. But what we need to also highlight is Nas' great beats and how does that match up with other artists that we claim pick great beats.
Mike, all you do is go grab DJ Premier tracks because of the tracks Nas chose. Next.
I mean, even
Mike,
I think him and Salam Remy. I think that's more of a knock to Salam Remy, man. I think that's the part this messed up. They try when they say those things. What albums are we talking about? And like Shamario said, what songs are you talking about specifically? Because you can't just sit there and say somebody's a bad beat picker and not mention any songs.
I think
That's
it's
like
low.
that's like what they used to do with Louis Farrakhan, right? They'll just say, "Oh, he's anti-Semitic."
Like what he
Okay,
said.
show me all the examples. Like they labeled Nas as bad beat
No, there's
picker,
one
but
example.
nobody's mentioning the beats. Where the
No, no,
beats?
no. No, see, that's what I'm saying. It's like, oh no. There's an example of Farrakhan being anti-Semitic. It's just that they take it and run with it. Just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
there's
yeah, yeah.
examples of Nas picking bad beats and they take it
Exactly.
and run.
That's what I mean.
So that's what we're talking about. Is there a little bit of proof there? Very little. But the way that you've blown it up and make it seem realer than it is. Right.
Let me get to a little bit of this, man, just to see if there's some more shots there, really.
No, Mike, I read the article. It was a pretty solid review for the most part. It's just, I mean, do your job unbiasedly and fairly. You don't got to throw, like, it's almost like, this is what I'm saying. It's just almost like they can't help themselves to throw shade. Even when they're giving a favorable review, it's like you have to highlight how it's like, we used to have to throw a little shade. Mike, you know how big of a Scarface fan that I am. He's not even revered the way that Nas is, but the media never talks about him this way when they're rating his albums. He's always talked in very respectful and endearing terms, and I know they don't listen to face shit like that.
And at the end of the day, Nas has earned that, right? Nas has earned the right to be respected on a high level. And you know, another thing that I get from some of these articles that I read, it's like they try to age Nas. They consistently talk about him being 48. They consistently call him an elder statesman. And Nas has made a very conscious effort in his career to not do that to himself, respectfully. And that's why we're not going to get the DJ Premier produced album or whatever. I was talking to a promoter one time. This was a couple years ago. And he said that, and we were talking about Nas, and, you know, he promotes some of the bigger concerts, hip-hop concerts, old school, new school, whatever. He said Nas and Kid Capri make a conscious effort to not do things that would get them on those old school rosters or old school lineups.
I remember when you told me that.
And that's respect. You know, that's his career choice. And it seems, and they know these things. These people who write these articles, they know these things, and they continuously the run that Nas is on and the role that he's on. It's like they continue to throw his age out there. They continue to say, you know.
When you told me that, I thought nothing else I had heard about his career put things in proper perspective in terms of how he moved. He's never going back because he never wants to go back in there and have to perform just those songs for the rest of his life like his idols. Because for whatever we think of them, we were just there and we were reciting the words word for word, Mike. Like, it was almost like, Mike, when you wasn't reciting the words to a song, I was. We just seen KRS, Kane, and Rakim. And when you told me that, and I was like, oh, he doesn't want to be where the people he was inspired by are, because he had aspirations to be better and to take it a step further. He doesn't want to go there. And that's not to knock what they've done, because hip hop was in a place that understand that the only reason that the old person tour exists is because those guys existed when they were young.
And it's a great thing to have, because you have older fans who ain't rocking with the new shit. They want to hear that stuff. So it's definitely a place. It's a place for all of it, but it's also a place for that artist that says, you know, I want to keep going.
Right. That's why you hear YKTV and Spicy, because it's like that. And that's what, when I heard Spicy, because when you told me that was around the time Spicy came out, it's like, and now his choices make all the more sense.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. Jay does it too. And you know what I'm saying?
Mike, he don't want to go perform Illmatic for the rest of his life.
That's why we always pair him and Jay up together, because Jay does it too. Jay doesn't want to be on. You remember when VH1 was doing the VH1 honors? Like when you do a VH1 honors or allow yourself to be honored, same thing with Nas, because he didn't do it either. You're kind of conceding to the fact that it's over. And Nas never wanted to do that. And I mean, I respect that. I mean, and if somebody wants to say, like Andre 3000 or whatever, and say, it's over, give me all my flowers, that's cool too. It's like crapping out at the table. It's like, look, done, boom, I'm walking away. Nas just not doing that. And
he just keep going to different tables in different casinos.
He has the right to do that. But again, I see in these articles that they're trying to age him. I can't wait till Jay-Z drops his album. I want to see if these same techniques are used writing his articles.
You been to Vegas, Mike?
Yeah, I love Vegas.
I was in Vegas this past summer. So there's the old strip, and then there's the new strip. When you go down to the old strip, it feels old to you. it's almost like they don't pay attention to it or focus on it like they do the new part of the strip.
Of course.
And that's why Nas doesn't want to go there, because it's like you get revered, but you don't get treated the same. You're not up on the main strip in lights anymore. You know?
Let's just keep it a buck. The money's different too.
I mean, I don't even think for him and Jay, money's not a concern. I think it's more about how they want to be revered.
Well, that too, obviously, but
they don't want the reverence to be nostalgic.
I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is like the more money you have, even if it's not about the money, now it's about your time. I'm not gonna go out here and do something that's not worth my time, numerically. You know what I mean?
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, I can have $1 billion, but now if somebody needs me to do this and this, it either has to be very important to me or it has to really be worth my time. And you're going to have to compensate for that. Not that I need the money, but it's pulling me away from some things that I do.
Right. Nas ain't going to take 50 grand for a show.
No.
Right.
So, I mean.
Because I can go make 50 grand so many other ways.
Exactly.
Going out and rapping Illmatic. Right.
Exactly. So, I mean, it does come down to that, too. Not that, like I said, not that he's out here trying to hunt for the money or whatever, but yeah.
The avenues that his forefathers opened up enabled him to do that. He's taking advantage of the road that's been paved for him instead of going directly down the same road. He's like, no, y'all paved this road. I'm going down a new road. Because that's what you're supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed to do. I mean, I think there's different ways to take the game to the next level. And, you know, in hip-hop, we've seen that we feel like once a person reaches a certain age that they can't continue to further things. But what Nas is showing, that he can have his business right, and now I could just focus on the music and do it freely in a way where I wasn't able to do at a certain point in my career. Because like I told you, when we start talking about Magic and just this output, he put out a lot of records in the 90s that just never got released. Mm-hmm. And so this is like his regular work ethic. It just looks different now because he's able to put these things out.
You're actually hearing it. Yeah, the stuff that he's doing, you're hearing it when he does it now for the first time. This is literally the first time in his career that he's recording material and putting it out after he's done recording it.
Jay was always the person, and I know we keep looping them together, but again, Jay was always the person, especially in his prime, that was looked at as he's able to crank these records out in a week. And it was incredible, like, to do the Blueprint in a week and a half, or whatever it was. But Jay's never released 2 albums in 1 year. Like what Nas just did.
Ever. And he was considered to be the workhorse, right?
Exactly.
Things are not always what they seem.
4 albums in 10 years, nigga. I can divide.
Right. But what if there's 10 albums worth of material?
Exactly.
And
see, Jay knew that, but he didn't think that it was ever going to be a time period where that stuff would actually see the light of day.
Or where Nas would actually double down on his work ethic. And when I mean double down, not just do the work, but then release the work. That's the double down. It's like, I'm doing it and I'm releasing it. How about that?
That's the amazing part about what's going on, too. It's not like he's even leaning on those records that never saw the light of day.
Leaning on fresh shit.
Fresh stuff. Like
every 6 months. Yeah.
And then we got KD3 on the way. I mean,
what's that Capadonna bar? I came to the fork in the road and went straight.
You sitting here quoting Kappa. I love it. Kappa's my nigga, man. I love that song, man. That slang editorial is ill, man.
I love that bar. I love that record, and it's one of the. I came to the fork in the road and went straight.
That shit is great.
Still.
Hey, man, you move forward. That's what you do, man.
Right.
And I think what he's doing is, again, Tom Brady-esque, where he's setting the bar so far that I don't think that, the person that's supposed to be compared to him the most, which is Jay-Z, I don't think Jay's going to be able to catch it. I just don't.
He's never made 3 projects. Neither one of them have ever made 3 projects this good in short a period of time. That's for either one of them. Not in 18 months. You can't go through 3 J projects in 18 months.
No, you're right. You're right. I mean, what is, and I want to ask the people in the room. What is Jay-Z's best 3 in a row album stretch? I don't know.
The first 3, Mike.
Is it?
Probably.
It might be. Because the first one that would come to mind is the Dynasty, Blueprint 2. No.
No, you can go Blueprint 2, and Black Album, but Blueprint 2 messes Black Album up. But here's the thing. Reasonable Doubt, classic. Volume 1, he's classic. Volume 2, his ascension.
Yeah, it might be those first three.
Mm-hmm. So he put the game on Smash, Mike. He put the game on Smash with his first 3 albums. There's actually a little bit of a slide after that. If you talk about until the Blueprint, like how about this, Mike? The Blueprint and the Black Album spike up. The rest of that stuff is just good. The Blueprint and the Black Album is where he spiked again.
The Blueprint 2 should have been one disc.
Yes.
And on top of it being one disc, Jay should have made the executive decision. I know y'all get tired of me ranting and raving about how great this person is as a director. He should have made the executive decision at the time and say, you know what, Kanye, I see what you did with the Blueprint. I'm going to let you handle the Blueprint too.
Mm-hmm.
But again, ego.
Well, he's Jay, and at the time, like I told you, Mike, how about this? That Blueprint time, I told you, Mike, nobody had been king like that unquestioned since Rakim.
But again, like we were just talking about with Grandmaster Flash, Melly Mel, and this Duke situation. Y'all know who put together the Blueprint. Right. Don't fuck around. You know. Now, everybody else can think whatever they think. But y'all know who put together.
We know now.
No, they knew then. They knew.
We didn't know then because we didn't know who Ye really was, and that's what I'm saying.
They knew. That's what I'm saying. They knew.
They
knew. Yeah, and they could have kept the smoke and mirrors on people and be like, yo, man, I need you over this second Blueprint. But he didn't do that. Tried to spread it around. Thought that they could copy the Blueprint. The real Blueprint is Kanye West. In that situation, let's just be real. Jay's brilliant on the mic, but we hold the Blueprint high because of what it did sonically.
Production.
Exactly. And Kanye West is the Blueprint.
I tell people this all the time. If we talking mic performance, the Blueprint is his 4th best mic performance, Mike.
I think he performed better on the Blueprint 2 lyrically than he did on the Blueprint 1. But the Blueprint just has better songs.
Production, Mike. Like I said, Mike, the guy that's rapping in 96 and 97, that guy's not on the Blueprint, but that production is.
You know, this seemed like the train of thought here. The Blueprint was such a cult classic and instant classic. Let's keep it real at the moment. He was going to take that brand and say, okay, we'll make a part 2. And I'll go back and do what I normally do and just get a bunch of producers. You know what I'm saying?
No, Ether happened, Mike. That's what happened. He got Ether.
How do you think Ether affected the Blueprint 2 as far as his approach?
Mike, look at all his projects up to that point. It is easily the most inconsistent project up to this point. He was wobbling a little bit. Ether left him leaning a little past 6. To quote Jay.
I feel you, and I could feel the hunger in where he was coming from after Ether, and I think that benefited him. I think that the way he was rapping benefited him, but I think the song selection went the other way.
It didn't benefit him. This is what I mean by he got Ether. He was trying too hard on the Blueprint 2 to make it seem like he was a better MC than Nas because of that, instead of doing what he had just done on the Blueprint, which was making great records. He was on Let Me Show How Great I Am every time. Listen to Mike, you and I talk about that verse on The Watcher all the time. It's like he heard that he was going to get Rakim on there, and he just lost his mind and was like, I got to beat him.
I didn't like that approach, yeah.
I got to beat him. What he got? He got 16 bars. I'm going to do like 30 bars. I'm going to do everything that I can.
That was some Eminem shit.
Mike, in all fairness to Jay, that's one of the best verses of his career, but it's the way that it got framed. It's like Nas just faded you. You got the God on a track. It just didn't look right. It looked like you trying so hard. On Hovey Baby, he trying so hard.
He's
and keep in mind, what's his steez? Cool, charismatic. He's not cool.
No, he was throwing out a character, but I think in a good way. Because 7 Straight Summers critics might not admit it, but nobody in rap did it quite like I did it. You did it, I did it before. You get it, I had it. Got mad at it, no one of them more. That goes for everything. Flipping that raw, flipping horse, flipping vocal cords. Don't get it twisted. Get it right. Did it better. Did it different. Did it nice. Did the impossible. Then did it twice.
Right. And the bars are great. Lyrically, he's as sharp as he's ever been on that record. Yeah. But he's off base because that beat don't slap and it sound like he's trying too hard. And one thing, how about this? When your rep is you the coolest motherfucker in the room, and we can hear you trying too hard. Well, you just lost your number one attribute. You just lost your superpower. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
He got two superpowers. He's lyrically great, and he's the coolest customer in the room. He lost one of those two powers on the blueprint too.
Well, he couldn't sit there and act like Ether never happened either, and he can't act
exactly
like,
what he was supposed to do.
the people didn't say what they said. So I will give Jay points for just saying, you know what, I'm gonna rap my ass off on this album. I think that the shortcomings of the blueprint too.
It didn't go well. He didn't pay attention to the production though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, should have, like I said, should have put Kanye over it.
So busy trying to outrhyme Nas that you didn't put together a project the way that you should have.
Yeah.
Almost every song on there, you can hear he's trying to out-rap everybody in the room on some Eminem shit.
I mean, I think as much as I even like the You Don't Know remix,
I don't.
It lets me know. I like it because the energy's crazy. MOP over that track and some of the things it just did to that track, I think it's dope. I don't like it being on the album. What it tells me is you're trying to stretch this out. You have enough songs, but you're trying to stretch this into being a double disc. I didn't like that part of it.
He didn't have enough songs, Mike. There's not one greatest hit caliber song on there to me except for maybe Meet the Parents or Somehow, Someway.
I'm going to be honest with you. I get it where people come from with Meet the Parents, but I think that
it's the only time he ever really told the story, Mike. And
I know, but I don't think he did it that well. I know I'm gonna get killed in the comments for that. I think it. I think that he is. How do I say it?
Mike, that is a Nas.
He did everything. He did everything technically right.
Nas, Biggie, Scarface, Ghostface level.
But it sounded like he was trying. Like, okay,
this album sounds that way. Yeah. That's Mike. Even the whole. This is what I mean about trying to outdo Nas. This is when you choose to tell a storytelling song after Ether. We ain't heard no stories before.
Yeah, I mean, I think Meet the Parents. Listen, when I first heard Meet the Parents, I was impressed. But again, maybe again, it's not Meet the Parents. It's probably what I come to Jay for, and that wasn't.
Right, you don't go to him for that. You go to Nas for that. You go to Big for that.
I go to Ghost for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
go to Ghost, but he stepped.
I can't tell you the last time I listened to Meet the Parents, but for people who love it,
Meet the Parents is one of the pleasant surprises of his career to me. It is.
You think so? Okay.
It is.
You know what? I think that the greatest hits moments on the Blueprint 2 for me is I Show You How to Do This. I think that's a strong record. I remember hearing that on mixtapes.
It's not that strong.
Huh?
Do my Rock Nation Brunch Pros, it's not that strong.
You don't think I Show You How to Do This is that strong? That shit is hard.
Shit, not that hard.
Come on, now you tripping, man.
Rock Nation Brunch Pose, Mike.
No, yeah. No. Push the big top to shape like the Kansas chicken snack box. I get it cracking when I'm backing out the garage. The 350 drop for Ross shut down Manhattan. Bucket low like fuck it though. Like, man, come on. You bugging.
I heard Imaginary Player before. It's the same rhetoric, not done as well.
No, man, I love Imaginary Player too. I'm not gonna sit here and be like Cypher Sounds and say because it's not Imaginary Player, I'm not impressed with it. It's a great song.
Oh, he's got impressive stuff, but that's what I'm saying. When he gets into that rich nigga rhetoric talk, I mean, there's so many more records I'd rather go to than that one. That don't register for me.
How many more? Because that's vintage Jay right there. That's You Don't Know Jay right there. That's I mean, you're gonna probably go to Reasonable Doubt, but in that era, that song stands out. Yeah, Deanna says, "Coop, you bugging." Shan Boogie says, "Show you was crazy." Yeah, that's a crazy record. That that shit is hard. Catch up, niggas. Damn, you fading them home. How you gave him that? Automata K with the alligator strap. Sick of you niggas with your now or later raps. Rap about it now. Hope you get it later. Do a couple shows. Hope you niggas are saving up. Woo! Jay's his best when he's in conversational mode. Period. That's conversational Jay. Unbeatable. Okay. But again, Blueprint 2 had its highlights, but I think overall, as a project, it just was poorly directed, and that could have been alleviated with the involvement of Kanye West, a young Kanye West at that. I mean, they had Kanye West rapping over a Timbaland beat on, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? How are you utilizing me, coach? Really?
Wasn't Ye like making late registration though?
Nah, he was making the college dropout.
Okay, that's the same college dropout
Yeah.
time. I mean, there we go. That's where Ye was.
And Ye was probably double dipping,
Another
sitting here.
classic.
I'll give you this, but I'm holding on to this. I ain't playing this for this nigga.
Like, when I pulled up his catalog, I'm like, this is the sneakiest motherfucker ever. He gave himself all the smoke and gave everybody else a secondhand smoke and made him feel like it was first.
As he should.
As he should.
You think I'm gonna play Jesus Walks for this guy? He's gonna take it. He took popping tags.
He did take popping tags, which I happen to enjoy. You can enjoy popping tags.
Popping tags is cool.